Alright, y'all. This is my 2019 1500 Silverado LD. LD version for light duty, as Chevy makes it out to be. And today I just want to give a honest long-term update review. Even though it's a 2019, you won't believe the mileage I have on this truck already. So before we get into any deeper, this is the 5.3 L82 engine, so it has the active fuel management, not the DFM, dynamic fuel management. This one only goes from 4 to 8, 8 to 4, and there's not much to the truck. I mean, everybody knows what a Silverado looks like. This is the custom edition, and here's my bed. It's torn to shreds. I mean, I've seen beds that are a lot worse, but I mean, it's seen better days. So let's get into first of what I've done with this truck. And I bought this truck for work, primarily work, but not the work that I expected it in the first place. So I got this truck primarily for local deliveries, to transport auto parts, truck parts, stuff like that. Nothing too heavy, nothing out of the ordinary, something maybe even a Colorado could handle. But due to the pandemic, this truck has seen way more abuse, wear, and tear than I'm guessing any other 2019 Silverado has ever seen. I would probably make the claim that this is the highest mileage 2019 Silverado LD out there right now, currently still on the road. So I got this truck back in 2019 of March 2019, and like I said, I got it to do little deliveries here and there, auto parts, truck parts, stuff like that. Nothing too heavy, nothing too out there, out of the ordinary. So it was like that until November, December came rolling around. COVID hit, started getting worse, and then in March of 2020 I lost the contract because the work did go down. So me and my pride, being a man that does not like to live off the government, I decided to do something radical and change the way I do business. Totally, it was a big 180 that I had to do. I bought myself a 24-foot trailer enclosed, and we did hotshot trucking with this truck. Doing local deliveries, I probably got up 20,000 miles out of it. I didn't really get too much mileage in around town, stuff like that. So we finally hit the road actually, and our first job took us out to Texas. A year and a half later, and now I have 124,711 miles on this truck. Yep, you heard that right. Almost 125,000 miles just in the last 18 months has gone onto this truck. Now, it's not just the mileage that kills it. What also kills this truck is that I've been idling it every single day, every night, because I do sleep in this truck with the AC on. So, not only after a long day of driving and hauling do I not let the engine rest, but I fill up and I leave the truck on all night so I could sleep inside with the AC on. Depending on how hot it is, if it's winter, I usually leave the windows cracked, but if it's the hot summer days, I leave the engine on all night, 7 to 8 hours, depending how long I sleep that night. And just so y'all see that I'm not lying, there's a mileage right there. 124,720 miles. And like I said, it's not only the miles, but it has the engine hours on it. It's like 1,200 engine hours I have on this truck already. So it's done a lot of running, a lot of idling, and I have about, for the last 18 months, I've been towing a 24-foot trailer loaded up to 9,500 pounds. So this truck every day has never been under 14,000 combined vehicle weight. The GCWR has never been under 14,000 pounds. And like I said, this is the 5.3 with a 6-speed transmission. And let's talk about repairs, maintenance, issues the truck has given me, stuff like that. So first, let's get into maintenance. I have been using AMSOIL for pretty much the eternity of this truck. So I always change my oil every 12,000 miles. I'm not using the 100% synthetic, so I don't go up to 24,000 miles. I'm using actually the one in between, because these trucks are notorious for burning oil. That's the oil consumption, lifters going out, stuff like that. So I've always wanted to make sure that I change the oil consistently, not going too much into 20,000 mile range. I don't want to do that. That's why I chose the mid-grade AMSOIL. And 124 plus thousand miles later, and changes oil every 12 to 15,000 miles. Always working it hard. So far, the oil has never been burning. Every time I go into the dealer, they're surprised that I have this many miles, working my heart this hard, and it doesn't burn a single drop of oil. Nothing. I'm actually surprised too that this truck has burned absolutely nothing worth of oil. So I change my oil maybe once a month. About once a month. I change it 1.5 months. That's usually what I change the oil every time. And I mean, it's just great. I mean, the engine is rock solid, transmission rock solid, differential's been good. And now let's get more in depth. As far as brakes, shocks, fuel lines, stuff like that, as far as all that goes, I still am riding the stock brake pads, stock rotors, and I still have around 50% life on them, so that's really good. So I have never done a brake job. I haven't replaced no differential. I haven't replaced the engine. The engine hasn't been replaced. Maintenance on this truck has been very minimal. I mean, it's just oil changes, and I've done the fuel carb cleaning system, and basically that's it. I mean, it's just been minimal maintenance. Oh, also transmission fluid change, differential fluid change, all that stuff. Now let's get into parts, mechanical and stuff I have changed on this truck. There's only 2 things I have replaced on this truck. One, you guys probably already know, it being a 1500. Unfortunately, I did already change the transmission at 119,000 miles. I had to change the transmission because the pump went out. But I have a big asterisk on this. I believe this was not GM's fault. I actually believe this transmission could have gone a lot longer if it wasn't when I did my 90,000 mile fuel service. No, not the fuel service, the transmission fluid change. I didn't flush it, we just changed it. But I'm not going to name the dealer that I took it to, but when they did the transmission service, they did not top off the right amount of fluid back into the transmission. So I drove about 300 miles back to LA fully loaded once again with my trailer. It was a windy day, and the transmission felt a little bit buggy. I give no regards because I just had to change the fluid. So I would trust the dealer to perform the service they're supposed to and do it right. Correct? Right? So I get to LA, and just the truck is not feeling right. I don't know what's going on. It's not feeling right. So I go to Harbor Chevrolet. I will name them because they have helped me out so much. Service guy named Bill. He's great. He's awesome. He always looks out for me. And I took it in, and he checked the truck for free. He went in, he topped off the fluid, told me what was wrong. He didn't charge me a single dime. Nothing. He did everything for free. And he told me that there could have been some damage caused to the transmission, but topping it off for now made all the symptoms go away. So fast forward about 2 months. I'm on my way to Vegas, yet again, fully loaded. I get there, do my delivery, drop off, I go to park my truck. The next day, I'm on my way to the dealer to get an oil change, and I lost all gearing. Transmission went out. And that was around 119,000 miles. And unfortunately, I'm guessing that is what made the transmission have a shorter life. Just that right there. They didn't top it off right the first time. I drove it 300 miles. It was a hard 300 miles. There was a lot of uphills, a lot of downhills. I was using engine braking, and it put a lot of strain on the transmission. And it being low on fluid most likely did damage to the transmission. So I got it replaced, $4,800, but at least it gave me a 3-year, 100,000 mile new warranty on that transmission alone. Now, for the second part that I've changed so far is the water pump. Now, I don't know if after so much idling and driving that the water pump went out, or if it has to do with me going out crazy on a dirt road. And maybe that could have killed it, because there was a lot of dirt and debris inside the engine, and weeds they got pulled up by some of the pulleys, and weeds they got stuck in between the serpentine belt. But I took most of it off, and I power washed it off and everything. But the bearing for the water pump started making noise, so I'm guessing something got in there. Me not wanting to take a chance, since it started making noise, I took it into a dealer, and I just barely got my truck back today. As we speak right now, I just barely got it back. They changed out the water pump. It was $860 to change it. So, I mean, I don't know if that's my fault, or if it's already common around this time for water pumps to do fail on this truck. But so far, that's the only two major services I've done in this truck: the transmission and the water pump. That's it. I have not changed anything else. They did run an inspection on all the seals, hoses, everything else, everything that you can imagine. Bill, like always, he stepped up and he checked everything out, and he said everything is good, but you should start thinking about getting new hoses later, within 8 months. So that might be the next thing on my list to do. Within 8 months, I might need new hoses. So, I mean, it's rubber, it's been in heat, it's been running hard. So, I mean, hoses, yeah, I mean, they're going to get toasty. They're going to burn out. Other than that, I mean, this 5.3 has been running excellent. It's giving me no problems, no nothing. I have not changed the spark plugs, no wires, no nothing on it. I haven't done anything. I've just done a fuel system cleaning on it once. That cost about, I think it was like $200 or $300 for them to do the throttle body clean. They pressure clean the injectors. They did a whole bunch of stuff. And after that, the truck was running a lot better. So maybe it did need it. Who knows? I mean, it didn't stutter. It was not lagging. I still had full power, full torque, full everything. But I mean, the truck just ran better after that. So I guess, I mean, it did help, honestly. As far as fuel economy goes, I'm towing with this truck, I am averaging right now 16.7 miles per gallon. And that's because lately I have been doing a lot of more city local driving. I have not gone out on the road. I have not gone far lately. So everything around the city has been 16.7 miles per gallon. Now, when I was going far, the most I ever got was on I-75, just past Colorado, when it was nothing but plains. And I actually got 21.5 miles per gallon at 15,000 pounds combined. So that's a really, really great number. I mean, I never seen anybody get those numbers before. But 21 miles per gallon while towing, that is, wow, it's shocking. Like, honestly, I was surprised. But I was actually averaging anywhere between 450 to 500 miles per tank towing with 15,000 pounds combined. So that really, really saved me on a lot of fuel. Other than that, there's not really much to say about this truck. I mean, all that, it's just been a great truck. It's been reliable. It's never left me stranded on the side of the road. It's always done what I've wanted to do. It's over delivered in every single thing. I mean, I can't really ask more from this truck. The only thing I would ask for it is if it had a diesel engine, so I could tow a lot more weight. But I mean, for what it is and for what it's set up for, it being a 1500, with so many miles in a short amount of time, people have advised me that I should look into a diesel, and I have. But it's just so hard to part with my truck. I mean, it hasn't let me down. Maintenance is so low. It's dirt cheap to maintain this truck running. Problems have not been risen. I mean, the lifters are great. I mean, everything about this truck is clean. There's no scoring. There's nothing. I have done the oil analysis, where I send it to a third-party independent company to study the oil, and they say it's clean. I mean, the oil's coming back really, really clean. There's no metal shavings. There's no real indications that the engine is starting to have like really, really wore out. And Bill has also actually looked into this engine, and all the sidewalls on all the cylinders, I mean, there's no scoring, there's nothing. It's clean. Like, this engine has really, really been top notch. This truck in general has been really great to me, and to me and pretty much my girlfriend, because if it wasn't for this truck during COVID, we would have been out, honestly. But we've been doing good. We've been above water because of this truck. So if you're actually looking into getting a Silverado, I think the 2019 Silverado 1500LD would be the best choice. And Bill also told me to tell y'all that if you're looking into getting a new Silverado, Cadillac, or any GM product, to avoid the 2021s, because they're having a lot of lifter problems. That's why the 2022s are coming out without the chip. Not only because there's a shortage, but because they're having a lot of lifter problems. So there's a lot of warranty. There's a lot of warranty service being done, and GM is losing a lot of money on the lifters. So he said, if you get a truck, do not get a 2021. That's just something he wanted me to pass on to y'all. So, but honestly, I can't imagine a better truck than this one right now. There's no way I would trade it in. There's no way I would do anything. Like, no. This is my truck. I'm staying with this truck. And I hope I can reach at least 500,000 miles before I actually start considering and trading in a truck for a new one, because it's been good, honestly. I mean, later on, I'll be giving you guys updates on this truck as far as it goes. When I hit 200,000 miles or 150,000 miles, I'm going to do another update. But for now, 125,000 miles and only 2 major problems that it's given me. But like I said, those 2 problems could have been probably prevented if it wasn't for that service done on the truck for the transmission, and then me getting into the weeds and pretty much blowing out the water pump. So, I mean, there's that. But yeah, I hope you guys like this review. Like I said, it's a long-term update review, real honest owner's review. And I'm not going to trade in this truck. I highly recommend this truck. I really do. And I'll see you guys on the next time. Peace.